What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news concerning Triple G and Jermall Charlo. I got a Counterpunch video that I seen from Counterpunch Boxing. Okay, you have two particular channels. You have my channel, Counterpunch Boxing News, which was first about a year and a half before his. And, of course, you have Counterpunch Boxing. Now, he has some good content, and I like his videos. I found out about a year and a half ago that, like, damn, somebody has a channel like mine. But, his is just Counterpunch Boxing. Mine is Counterpunch Boxing News. And I know that the cat is a Triple G fan, which I'm a fan of Triple G at certain fights. I like Triple G. But I'm more of a fan of boxing than a fighter because I know fighters change. Fighters get at a certain position, then they change narratives. I understand how boxing works. People get beat, then they're not the same fighter. Boxing is a living, breathing, ever-changing organism. So I'm not a fanboy of fighters. Okay, so if someone's doing something that I think that's rather shitty, I'm going to counterpunch you and call you out on it, And in this video, since he's a Gennady Golovkin fan, he was actually comparing the replacement of, Jermall Charlo and Karabov. He was stating that, hey, what would a prime Golovkin do with Matt Karabov? You know what I mean? He said, now notice a prime, and I'm going to get to that prime later. Versus what did Gennady do to his replacement, which was Vanes Martirosyan, when, they had to replace Canelo when Canelo popped dirty or whatnot with his problems. So, let me counterpunch that first of all. First of all, you can't compare Matt Karabov to Vanes Martirosyan. Vanes Martirosyan was not a middleweight. Vanes Martirosyan was from 154, and he lost his last fight after being on his ass for like 2 years. Okay? And second, Vanes Martirosyan fought the wrong game plan. Now, I know he was protecting his boy Triple G because, he is an anti-LDBC guy, so he's one of those guys that will, counterpunch a lot of that stuff, but criticize a lot of their stuff. So he was defending Triple G from saying Triple G was exposed just for the 2 rounds with Vanes Martirosyan, because Vanes was, he came in ready to fight. Vanes came in ready to fight, charge in and attack, and that was his downfall because Golovkin destroyed this guy. 2 rounds, it was done, and, it was on the Cinco de Mayo weekend, and, it didn't last long. Whatever. But, a prime Golovkin, what would he do to Matt Karabov? First of all, if you're insinuating prime, that means you believe that Triple G is not where he used to be. That's fine. Fair enough, because I don't believe he is either. I think he's a way different fighter than he was in 2018 now than December of 2016. When the first Golovkin fight was supposed to happen, the Golovkin-Canelo fight was supposed to happen. So, yeah, I believe that, a prime. But I don't know. It's not, you can't really make that determination because Matt Karabov is a southpaw, and he's an aggressive southpaw. This isn't a Willie Monroe, and it's funny that both of those guys, Jermall was supposed to fight Willie Monroe, and Golovkin actually fought Willie Monroe. Okay, they're 2 different southpaws. Okay, Golovkin had problems with Danny Jacobs when he fought him when Danny Jacobs went into the southpaw stance. Okay, and he didn't really know what to do. The only thing he did was jabbed. That showed Golovkin was limited to what he could do. He shot the right hand. He chopped with the right hand. He left himself open, really, for a lot of counters. And Canelo, took advantage of that in spurts of those 2 fights, those 24 rounds, okay, when Golovkin would come in. But coming from a southpaw stance, I don't see him doing that to Matt Karabov. Matt Karabov was too slick, for one. And Golovkin, what he can do, he does well. He jabs well, and that jab is damn near like a right hand anyway. so he can pepper you with it. Now, if you can catch Parvov, he has a good timing speed on that jab. You know, so, but again, Matt Karabov is a very athletic fighter. Willie Monroe is a guy that I think he buckles under pressure. I think when it's time for him to rise to the occasion, he just doesn't do so. And when he fought Golovkin, Golovkin hurt him with his power early. And he went on survival mode until Golovkin stopped him, basically. You know, he knew Willie Monroe didn't have anything to offer as well as punching power. Well, Matt Karabov did. Matt Karabov had Jermall second guessing himself. You know, both of those guys, both of those brothers, Jermall and Jermall, are guys that will attack at will. But those particular fights, when he fought with Matt Karabov, you know, he was catching him with that same shot. He was crafty. You know, I haven't seen Golovkin in there with a fighter like that, honestly. And it ain't Willie Monroe Jr. You know, Willie Monroe throws pity-pat punches. You know, maybe he was juicing. I don't know what his deal was. But a lot of fighters that, you know, have problems with punching, with punching power, they're going to have problems with guys with a good chin like Golovkin, you know. But that would be a good fight, though. You know, I would credit Counterpunch Boxing for even comparing a prime Golovkin to a Matt Karabov. Well, how about this? Let's do this. How about you put Matt Karabov in there with Golovkin, okay, instead of a damn replacement coming at 154. Okay, then we can make the correct assessment on who would do what. And I noticed he said prime. Why not a right now? How about a current Golovkin? Put him in there with him, okay? So let's see what happens with that, as opposed to, you know, someone, in their prime. That's more like a fantasy matchup at that point. You know, Golovkin's still a credible fighter now. No, he's not the same fighter he was in 2016. So what? You know, he still can hold his own against fighters. On the politics side, we don't know where any of these fighters are going to go. You know, Jermall is with PBC, okay, Showtime and Fox. Golovkin we don't know yet. He hasn't even signed anything with anyone. So we don't even see if that fight can happen. The reason why Jermall is actually signing or wanting to fight Canelo or Golovkin, because he did have a tough fight with Matt Karabov, you know. And look at Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder was smart, he would be wanting to fight Anthony Joshua and get that payday, because he scaved away with a draw, you know. And since he scaved away with a draw, so be it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you know, now it's time, if he's smart, which I don't think he's that intelligent, or his people are not that intelligent to make a fight to go for the money. So Jermall, you know, he had a tough fight with Karabov. So yeah, that would be the smartest thing right now. I got away with the win. I escaped with the win in a tough fight. I might as well go for the money now, because if I wait, I might get beat by somebody else like this. And this was a damn replacement again, right? But this wasn't any replacement. And I've covered that in my last video. It wasn't. It's a totally different guy. He's a, you know, different can of worms that was opened that night. So, but yeah, I can see why he calls out Canelo Golovkin. Will he beat him? Probably not. He has a better chance of beating Golovkin than Canelo, because all Canelo's going to do, he's going to wait for Jermall to commit to one of those shots, time him with a counterpunch, either an uppercut or a left hook, and repeat the process until he either buckles, beats the shit out of Jermall, or knocks him out. That's how I call it, and I see it. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.